Kvara might be leaving Napoli, Harry Maguire drama is in the news, and an actual GOAT attended Lionel Messi's MLS signing. All of that and more in today's football news video. Harry Maguire announced on his Twitter that after a conversation with Erik ten Hag, he will no longer be the Manchester United captain. Now this is a sad day for us content creators because whenever Harry Maguire plays, normally there's a bunch of content and basically a bunch of views that goes along with it. And speaking of Harry Maguire, there has been rumors that he may be joining Chelsea. I have no clue why Chelsea wants him, but I think it would be very interesting to see him in a Chelsea shirt. And if he is in a Chelsea shirt, I can't wait for that game when he plays against Manchester United. Next up in the news is Sassuolo recently played a friendly match, and it's safe to say that they won pretty convincingly. The final score ended up being 22-0, and the first thing I thought of when I saw this was it reminded me of that Bayern Munich friendly a few years ago. I don't know if any of you saw the highlights, but it was basically like men against boys. And I haven't seen the Sassuolo highlights yet, but I'm assuming it was pretty much the same thing. If you guys didn't know, Messi recently had his presentation at Inter Miami Stadium. It was a cool event and all, but the highlight of the night was some person actually brought a goat to the stadium. I don't know how they were able to get a live goat, and I'm not sure if the goat actually made it in the stadium, but if it did, that's actually crazy. Speaking of Messi, if he never goes back to Europe, and if Cristiano Ronaldo never goes back to Europe, Messi will finish with one more European goal than Ronaldo. This is by a slight edge of 496 to 495. Hopefully they're back in Europe one day, although at this point in their careers, I highly doubt it. Speaking of the MLS, we have a huge fail. Sergio Busquets was recently announced to be joining Inter Miami, and the MLS thought that they would be nice and they'd introduce him with a nice little tweet. The only problem is the person in the picture isn't Sergio Busquets. This player that they're showing is actually Alvaro Arbeloa. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but I tried my best. Alvaro was on the World Cup squad in 2010, and they do look pretty similar, so I could see how they would mess it up, but like, come on, you're a professional sports account. You gotta be getting this stuff right. It's okay if I mess it up because I have like 80 subscribers, but MLS, step up your game. The next piece of news is Newcastle has reportedly made an €82 million bid for Kvara. Kvara tore up Serie A last year and was one of the best players in the league. Newcastle has already gotten Tonali as a confirmed signing, and adding Kvara would just make their team so much better. What would you guys do if you were Napoli? Would you accept the $82 million, or would you keep your star young player? Let me know in the comments, because this is an interesting one. While Newcastle would be happy to have Kvara, PSG would not be happy to have Dusan Vlahovic. Reports have come out that Dusan Vlahovic may be going to PSG, and the PSG Ultras are not happy. The Ultras were outside the stadium and they held up a sign. When converted to English, it means, if you come to Paris, we'll cut off 3 fingers. Now that seems a little bit crazy. I wouldn't want my fingers cut off, so if I were Vlahovic, I would stay away from PSG. And the last piece of news that was confirmed by Fabrizio is Marcus Rashford will be staying at Manchester United. He's recently extended his contract until the year 2028, so 5 more years of Rashford at United. And although I dislike Manchester United, I respect Rashford for making the decision to stay with his boyhood club. Please subscribe.